Princess Valara of the Crithian Empire had seen many species kneel before her throne. The insectoid Jarkai, the crystalline Luminae, even the proud warrior clans of Drexos Prime, all had bent their necks in supplication to her mother, Empress Silitha. But never had she seen a human. Until today. The creature stood in the grand hall, his strange bipedal form clad in battered armor that bore the scars of 1,000 battles. His face was uncovered, revealing pale skin and those peculiar forward-facing eyes that marked him as a predator species. Yet he stood there unarmed and unafraid, while 50 of the Empire's finest guards surrounded him with plasma lances leveled at his chest. "This?" Valara's melodious voice dripped with disdain as she circled the human. Her scales shimmered with iridescent purple as she moved, a sign of her amusement. "This is what the galaxy fears? This soft-skinned, weak creature from a backwater world?" The human said nothing. His eyes followed her movement with unsettling calm. "Mother, surely you jest," Valara continued, addressing the Empress who sat upon the eternal throne. "The reports must be exaggerated. Humans were defeated in the Proxima campaign. Their fleet scattered. Their colonies burned. What possible reason could you have for granting this thing an audience?" Empress Silitha's expression remained unreadable, her ancient eyes fixed upon the soldier. "You are young, daughter. You know only what the propagandists have told you." Valara laughed, the sound like crystal chimes. "I know that humanity sued for peace. I know they surrendered. I know. You know nothing." The Empress's voice cracked like thunder through the hall. Silence fell. Even the guards shifted uncomfortably. Valara's scales flickered from purple to a shocked pale blue. The human spoke for the first time. His voice was quiet, almost gentle. "Your Majesty, you summoned me. I am here." "Captain Marcus Chen," Silitha said, rising from her throne, "sole survivor of the Terran 8th Fleet, defender of New Brasilia. The man who held the Kepler line for 47 days against impossible odds." 48 days, Your Majesty," Marcus corrected softly. "But who's counting?" Valara's crest flared in indignation. "How dare you? Silence!" The Empress descended the steps, her age-worn body still carrying the weight of absolute authority. "Daughter, do you know why I granted humanity's request for peace? Because they were beaten, broken. They had no choice but to, because I was terrified." The words hung in the air like a death sentence. Valara's scales shifted through a dozen colors, finally settling on confused gray. "Mother, I don't understand." Silitha stood before Marcus, now studying him. "Tell her, Captain. Tell my daughter what happened at New Brasilia." Marcus's jaw tightened. For a moment something flickered in those predator eyes, something ancient and dark. "I was stationed on New Brasilia when your fleets arrived. A mining colony. 3 million civilians. Mostly families, children. We followed the rules of engagement," Valara protested. "We gave them time to evacuate." 6 hours, Marcus said flatly. "You gave 3 million people 6 hours to evacuate a planet. There weren't enough ships. There wasn't enough time." He paused. "So I didn't evacuate. Neither did my crew. 743 soldiers. We stayed. Suicide," Valara scoffed. "Pointless, and we had mining equipment," Marcus continued as if she hadn't spoken. "We had plasma cutters. We had determination. In 6 hours we carved fortifications into solid rock. We rigged every mine shaft with explosives. We turned a peaceful colony into a fortress." Silitha's voice was soft. "Tell her how many ships we lost, Captain." 47 capital ships, 300 fighter craft, estimated 20,000 casualties. Marcus's voice remained steady, but his hands had clenched into fists. "And you know what the funny thing was? We were all going to die anyway. We knew it. But we made you pay for every meter, every building, every street." "How?" Valara whispered. 700 against an armada. "Because humans don't know how to quit," Marcus said. "Because when you threaten our children, something breaks inside us. Or maybe it unbreaks. Maybe we remember what we were before civilization, before mercy, before rules." The Empress nodded slowly. "When I saw the reports from New Brasilia, I realized something terrible. We had attacked Earth's colonies, believing them soft, easy targets. But we had awakened something that should have stayed sleeping. We're not the strongest species," Marcus said. "We're not the fastest or the smartest. But we're stubborn. We're vindictive. And we have very, very long memories." He looked directly at Valara. Your empire spans 1,000 worlds. Ours barely 50. But if you truly pushed us, if you made us choose between death and taking you with us, we wouldn't hesitate. Mutually assured destruction, Silitha said. A human concept, one I learned to respect. Marcus smiled, and it wasn't a pleasant expression. There's an old saying on Earth. Speak softly and carry a big stick. We don't have the biggest stick in the galaxy, Your Majesty, but we'll swing ours until our arms fall off. Valara stared at the human, seeing him clearly for the first time. Not a defeated soldier from a broken species, but a reminder, a warning wrapped in flesh and blood. Empress Silitha's next words were directed at her daughter, but her eyes never left Marcus. This man killed 20,000 of our people to save 3 million of his. He fought for 48 days knowing he would die. He survived against odds that should have been impossible. She paused, and he is not unique among his kind. The Empress's crest flared formal purple, the color of imperial respect. Then slowly, deliberately, she bowed her head. Valara, she commanded. Bow before Captain Chen. Bow before the species that taught an empire fear. Valara's scales cycled through shocked white, indignant red, and finally, reluctant understanding. She looked at the scarred soldier, at his calm eyes and steady hands, and saw not weakness but contained violence, controlled fury. She bowed. Marcus Chen nodded acknowledgement, his expression unchanged. Your Majesty, Princess, the peace accords await your signature. Humanity hopes this treaty will be the beginning of better relations. As do we, Captain, Silitha said. As do we. As Marcus was escorted from the throne room, Valara remained bowed. When she finally straightened, her mother was watching her with ancient, knowing eyes. Remember this day, daughter. Remember that strength comes in many forms, and sometimes the most dangerous beings in the universe are the ones who have everything to lose and nothing left to fear. Valara looked toward the empty doorway where the human had disappeared. I will remember, Mother. I will never forget. In the distance, a human transport ship lifted toward the stars, carrying a single soldier home. A soldier who had changed an empire's mind with nothing but determination, sacrifice, and the simple, terrifying truth that humanity would never go quietly into the night.